Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hey, welcome along. We have a druid yet to find for our shiny hunting adventuring party. So yeah, we're going to be trying to delve into that today. Hopefully we can find it and maybe even find like a couple more members for this party. For those who aren't aware, let's go over here. Oh, why is that not showing up? Half a moment. Where are we? There we go. I had a layer turned off. So we are creating a shiny team of an adventuring party. Oh, and one of those is not supposed to be marked off, which was from testing that this actually works. Why is it doing that? Golly gosh. Is it? Hang on. I think I see what the problem was. I'm meant to be doing this one. This one. There we go. The other was an old static version. Okay. Now we're on the right one. So we are going to be shiny hunting these Pokemon for an adventuring team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So at the moment, so we're starting off, we're looking for the druid and the rest of these members. So I've already gone ahead and obviously kind of picked them, but these are all flexible. So if you guys have some better ideas for what these other Pokemon could be, then please let me know. Yeah, at the moment, they're very flexible. These are the ones that felt right to me at the moment. But we'll see how things go. So thanks for coming along. And let's get ourselves loaded in. Oops. Get ourselves loaded in and start some shiny hunting. I'd be interested to know if any of you guys have done shiny hunting before. This is new to me for this game. Oh, that's right, I was here doing some stuff last night. I don't need those. Lost my buttons. And I need to turn off background music. Cool. So these are the phases we had last time while trying to shiny hunt for a Pansage. We've got its brothers, Pansera and Panpour, as well as a Ghastly and a Haunter. So hopefully we can just finish off the trio of monkeys rather than getting duplicates of them. I don't need duplicate. I do need another Panpour. I won't be too annoyed about that one, but the others I'm not needing. Where was this spot? Is it that one? Yes. Maybe? I think it's this one. I think this is the spot I was using. Let's go have a look. I think I hear them. Nope. No, I don't. Well, that's the completely wrong roof. Why am I blanking on where I had been? I should have set this up before. Oh, it's right here. Okay, that's why it's confusing me. The battle zone is throwing me off. All right. Pretty sure. We'll find out. Yes. Alright. So we will be bench resetting up here. Is down here. We have 1. Wait. Yep. Okay, no, you're not different color. 2, 3 monkeys. So we get to load all 3 of these. Both day and night. Can we get them by fly spamming? Let's see. If I put a marker there, I think that's going to be too far away for flying. Just. Yeah, we'll bench reset. Ugh. So let's get into the rhythm. It's going to be good. So I've been really enjoying things I've been working on lately for this channel with the last couple of videos. I've found a particular way of going about... Hang on. Hang on. Can't save. Just that, I've got a ghastly behind me. Let's come over here for a minute. You know what? Be gone. One reset. We have our first shiny phase straight away. Let's add 1 to the counter. 1 shiny phase. Dear. Alright. Take you. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, since we phased, chances are unlikely, but let's go have a look down here anyway. 1, 2, and 3 regular colored water monkeys. Oh, that's hilarious. Straight away. I'm going to phase immediately. Oh, gosh. So, let's get back up. Alright. Let's get this hooked back in. The stuff that I'm doing at the moment, I'm really enjoying. I've found a particular way of doing art that is fun for me to come up with. It's fun for me to draw. It's not a different drawing style. It's more of how I approach my art. Over my previous videos that I had been doing art for all of them, and I enjoyed it to an extent, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I would like. So I eventually got tired of drawing. Like I wasn't inspired to draw. Like I was drawing it because I had to for a video piece, but it wasn't inspiring me to want to draw it. And yeah, over the last couple of videos, I've been exploring a new way that I approach my art and how I frame my videos around it. And it's been a lot more fun to think of things to draw, which has been really, really good. My headphones are slipping a bit. So that's been really good. And this challenge is kind of part of that. I wanted to... I'd actually seen someone had done like a Pokemon webcomic on Instagram, which was very cool, and it was a very fantasy-based sort of world. So no people, all the characters are Pokemon. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I kind of want to do something like that, do an art piece like that. And so I thought it'd be fun to go through Shiny Hunt the Pokemon, create an art piece based on those Pokemon. And yeah, I've got a few ideas beyond this that I think would be quite fun. So seeing how the process for this video goes. Yeah, it should be quite cool. Obviously, because I'm shiny hunting them, it's going to take me a fair bit longer to get through than just drawing the piece. But I have come to really enjoy shiny hunting in this game. And there's still a lot of shinies that I'm yet to catch. I've been working on my shiny living decks, and it's kind of a good excuse to do both, good excuse to hang out, and yeah, just have a good time. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, like I'm experimenting at the moment with my channel with trying out a bunch of things, different types of videos, different styles of videos. And while I'm seeing some stuff already that I'm enjoying doing, still got a bit of experimenting to go until I can then go back and look at it and try and go, okay, here's all the pieces that I really like. How do I really focus in on this type of content? So it'd be great to hear from you guys, like what parts specifically of my videos you really enjoy, because help me kind of know, like, what are people resonating with. At the end of the day, like, it still has to be something that I enjoy doing. So not to say that I've disliked doing my previous videos, but there were aspects of them that felt really grindy and unpleasant in comparison to the amount of enjoyment I was getting out of them. But I mean, it's going to be the same with anything, but it's just trying to work out, you know, how do I get the optimum amount of enjoyment out of the process of creating a video for me. Like, I don't want it to be a case of I'm making a video and I dread the entire process, but hopefully the end result's good. You know, I want to be able to enjoy the planning, the recording, the editing, the artwork. So I've been trying to improve a lot of those things, and just kind of seeing what I can try, find out, you know, learn about myself a wee bit. That's been really good so far. It's been really refreshing. So I've seen a lot of stuff the last couple of days on the new was it Poketopia? The new Switch game coming out with the Ditto, the very Stardew Valley vibe game. It's looking really darn adorable. I'm not sure whether or not I'll be getting that game. It looks really cute, but on top of playing games like this, where part of what I love to do is collecting Pokemon, and I'm wanting to be able to shiny hunt a lot of Pokemon now. On top of that, so I'm not sure at the moment whether or not I'll have the time, because most of the time I only have a bit of availability in the evenings to be able to do something. So whether it's streaming, recording for a non-streaming video, editing, drawing, it takes up a lot of time. I am trying to schedule in specific days that are just me enjoying playing games without it having to be focused on video content or something like that. But it's still a process to go through, and I've only got a limited amount of time at the moment, so I don't know if I'll be getting that one, at least not immediately, particularly as we've got hopefully Gen 10 coming out this year. So I'm wanting to get through as much of the shiny hunting in ZA as possible, and hopefully have most of that done before Gen 10 comes out, because I want to be able to dive into that straight away. I think that'll be a lot of fun to be able to do that. And who knows, I might start streaming my initial playthrough of the actual game and just experience everything live with you all. It'd be interesting to see. Well, I'll have to have a think about that, but it's a possibility. Oops. So yeah, I'm trying to kind of figure out the balance of my time and stuff at the moment. And my main goal at the moment is to try and finish shiny hunting ZA. I am not certain yet if I will go shiny hunt in Scarlet and Violet, because obviously there's some Pokemon I can't get outside of there. And I don't know whether I will go shiny hunt in Sword, which is the only other game I have at the moment. That one I actually have to go through. I have to play through the game and beat that one. I have beaten Scarlet and got the shiny charm in that one, so yes, I've got the shiny charm in that one. So I might do some of that. We'll see. But I definitely want to be able to collect the shiny Pokemon out of that I can't get elsewhere. So it might be a case of waiting till Gen 10 comes out, shiny hunting that, and then going back to previous games to find the ones that I can't get any other way. Actually, let's do a quick check. I don't think any of these... No shinies. None of those are shinies. Alright. All good. Yeah, let's pick up this Pokeball while I'm here. Thank you, sir, for your Pokeball saving magic. Yeah. So it's been a really great time last week, but I've got some videos lined up that I'm excited to do. It's just slowly chipping away at them with the time and energy I have to get them done. So, but it feels like it's an exciting time for me. Like, even though I took a bit of a break from making video content, it wasn't because I didn't want to make content anymore. I wanted to keep making content. I was just struggling with the process at the time. Like, I wasn't enjoying the process of making, which is a struggle for me. Like, for me, it's not just about the end goal. Like, I like video editing, I like drawing, I like planning and things like that. Like, I actually enjoy doing those tasks, but something about the way I was doing things just wasn't enjoyable. And so that's something that I've been endeavoring to fix, and it's made things so much more fun. Like, I'm really excited for the things I get to work on. I don't think any of the video ideas that I'm currently chipping towards are incredibly amazing ideas in their own right for a video, but the goal of them at the moment is more, this sounds fun to explore, so let's give it a crack and just see what I can learn about myself. The last video I just put out was about trying to like a Pokemon that I hate, and that one we did was for Aromatisse, and so I had to shiny hunt it, nickname it, spend some time observing it, learning its lore, battling with it, and then drawing it. In fact, if we go... Whoops. Over here. Here they are. This is Fruffles the Second. And that was a really, really fun process. Like, I didn't really expect to have quite so much fun with that. That was, yeah, really interesting to go through. And it's got me thinking about, you know, should I do that for other Pokemon that have, like, at first look been a Pokemon that I immediately say no to, you know? Are there others like that where it's like if I actually spend time with them, if I actually get to know them, if I even take some time to draw them and appreciate them, is that... Oh. You know, is that going to change my opinion? Is that going to make me like them? Will they suddenly become a favorite? You know, that was just a really fun process in general to go through and just have fun with. You know, got to just explore them in game, play around, and I also got to try like a very different, well, not very different, but properly try a good gameplay based editing style. I've been watching some various shiny hunting videos from some creators that are kind of new to me. So one of them in particular is Shiny Catherine, and her editing style is quite fun. And I wanted to learn a bit from that. So I got to test some of that in that video. That was a lot of fun to go through. I had a lot of fun making it, and the editing was quite enjoyable. I'm using some different software now. But kind of got through that, and I'm like, I kind of want to do another one. That was kind of fun. Like, I don't think it's the type of video that's going to do necessarily particularly well. Because not everyone's going to want to watch a video about aromatisse or whatever, you know, like if I do a video on Eevee, then it'll probably do quite well. If I did one on Charizard, again, probably quite well. But kind of picking these more obscure Pokemon that people tend to look past. While it could be a very fun idea, it might not be, you know, the best for, you know, helping grow the channel or things like that, or just people being interested to watch it. Like, part of the reason I make content is obviously I have something I think is cool and I want to share it, you know. It can be a bit disheartening when it's like you do something that you think is kind of fun and not no one, but like it doesn't end up being shared to many people. That's something that has stung me more in the past. But how I'm approaching it now, I'm trying to approach it purely from an aspect of fun for me. Because if I'm having fun, then other people are going to have fun, you know. And I want to get more comfortable, you know, being able to present videos, being able to just talk and enjoy things. As, yeah, I'm generally a very quiet and just quiet individual. I don't talk a lot. I don't usually talk a lot. Let's do another check here while we're at it. Yeah, like particularly like in work zones and stuff like that, I can just stay silent. But oh, we have another shiny. It's another phase. Alright. Another shiny Ghastly for our collection. Very good. Oh dear. Actually, before I do that, let us... might actually move these guys out. We can hang out with Fruffles for a bit. And then we'll be able to see our phases in our team. That's 2 phases on our way to finding our druid. 2 red herrings. Oh gosh. Yeah. One thing I need to do a little bit more, and it's not something I can do very often because, like, I'm married with 2 kids. I'm the sole income for our family, so I have much higher priorities than this. But I would like to get some more packs of Pokemon cards at some point, as over here, just out of view, beside Gengar, I have a binder with all my Pokemon cards in it, and I'm endeavoring to build a Pokedex out of it. So 1 card per Pokemon, including alternate forms and, you know, Mega Evolutions, things like that. 1 card per Pokemon to make a full Pokedex, purely based on artwork. Like, I'm not interested in competitive TCG. I don't mind watching it occasionally, but it doesn't interest me too much. But I love one of the reasons I love Pokemon just in general is for the designs, and for the trading cards, I love looking at the cool artwork. So I've been, and only probably in the last year, started putting it like together from scratch. Is I do need to get a couple more booster packs at some point and see if I can add some additions into the mix. So that may be that's something that I can, once I get them, maybe that's something I can do on stream as well. Open those up would be kind of fun. It's something that my boys as well enjoy at the moment. They want to get their own binder and be able to start making their own Pokédex as well. Like, we kind of started it off with like a couple of like boxes, like the tin, like ready to play sets and stuff, and a whole bunch of cards I'd gotten from my brother. And so, like, all the extras that I didn't need, like, I made sure that they had one of everything at the very least. Like, they got to pick their favorites for those, and they'll get, oftentimes when we go buy trading cards now, like, they'll get, I don't get to get a couple packs as well, so we'll get to open them up, see what we get, what are our favorites, and then anything that we're not keeping, then we can trade with those, and teaching them about that. And it's been a lot of fun. It's great to see them enjoying that aspect of Pokemon as well. Like, they've really enjoyed watching some of the Pokemon anime. In particular, they really enjoyed the Sun and Moon arc, which is quite cool. And we've watched the odd Pokemon movie together. And yeah, it's great being able to kind of share this franchise that I enjoy so much with them. It's quite cool. I do wonder about how long this is going to take. It's not exactly the longest hunt that I've done by far, and I know people have shiny hunted way worse hunts in other games. I had some really bad shiny luck last night. I was trying to shiny hunt a Clauncher in area 11. Wild Zone 11. And I was bench resetting for that. And I have got one already, but I need a second one to evolve. It's the last Pokemon I need from that zone. And yeah, absolutely nothing. Like, I did get a couple of phases. Actually, they were the ones that were in my box earlier that I got rid of. So it was a Fletchling, a Slowpoke, and a Stunfisk. I did phase on those. But I have tried shiny hunting Clauncher there for a while now, and it's certainly not for a lack of spawns. There's like average 3 spawns and a Clawitzer within range of the bench. And yeah, no luck at the moment. Speaking of area 11, you can catch what's the little squid called? Oh, I'm blanking on its name. Hang on, I need to look this up. Where is it? No, wait, that's too far. I've gone past it. Ah, yeah. Inkay. Duh. I should remember that. You can catch Inkay in there at one end, but it doesn't actually tell you that they're available in the wild zone when you hover over it in your map for some weird reason. Which kind of confuses me, and now I'm uncertain. Like I did shiny hunt for an Inkay there and I did get one. So that's fine. But at the time I was really confused as to where to get the darn thing. So I think I've come across previously, or maybe it was just that one. I don't know if it's just that one or if there's been other cases where there's been Pokemon in there that aren't mentioned on the map. And usually, like, yeah, usually it's like if you get an alpha, then it might be like an evolution. Actually, in Area 11, every so often you get a Gyarados in there, which also isn't on... isn't registered on there. And I'm like, do the other wild zones have these oddball, like once in a blue moon spawns? Like, I haven't come across any. Like, I think that's been the only one where it's like had unexpected Pokemon spawning in, which kind of confused me. And like, Zone 11 does have a couple of blank spaces where they could have put Inkay and Gyarados in that little pop-up on the map. So I'm not really sure why that's not there. It's kind of annoying that yeah, that they don't show up. Like I don't mind there being some Pokemon that it's like they don't have a specific zone, like Riolu? I actually don't know how to pronounce that. You know, they're just randomly on rooftops, and apparently when it's sunny, I found out the other day. So I don't know how I'm gonna shiny hunt that one. When I get to that, that's gonna be interesting. But at least in wild zones, you think that like every possibility, barring wild zone 20, because the alpha's under the tower, there's like 67 different Pokemon that they could be. Aside from that, you'd think all the other wild zones would have actually been marked out properly, but it seems like at least one or two Pokemon were forgotten from at least one zone. Like, I imagine in a game like this, like particularly if there's like last minute additions, there might be things like that that are overlooked, and it's not a big deal. But like, when you're trying to figure out where to catch a Pokemon and you go to the Pokedex and be like, cool, where's the habitat for this Pokemon? It's like, doesn't have one. Doesn't exist in Wild Zone, sorry. And then sure enough, you find it in a Wild Zone, such like Inkay in Wild Zone 11. I don't know what's going on at that point. Like, someone missed the memo greatly right there. But that's alright. I do wish a little bit when you were bench resetting that this battle zone activated and deactivated setup wasn't like, I know it's not that long in the grand scheme of things, but it would be great if it just wasn't. If it just wasn't. I think I'll do... So I might as well do my nighttime checks. That way we can see if we phase on more Ghastly and Haunter. Let's go have a check. I think there's actually a daytime patrat there as well. Well, I can't tell immediately. I don't think we have any shinies. Nope. That's right. Let's keep going. Me and my Pokemon battle over food every meal, morning to night. Don't most people feed their Pokemon food? Let me set this back up again. Yeah, I'm using a rubber band to hold the Joy-Con stick down, so I don't have to do that myself, and I can just spam the A button with one hand. Do you get a beat? Let me. Sorry, my tongue got twisted. Hey, you guys, let me know. What are your kind of like wants for Gen 10? It'd be quite interesting to know. For me, I would like some retroactive fixes and leaning into Pokemon lore properly from Game Freak. So, what do I mean by retroactive fixes? Well, there are some Pokemon that have a specific lore and then they break their own lore. So if we take a couple videos ago, I did one on Slowbro. So you can catch wild Slowbro in ZA. And the lore for Slowpoke is that when a Shelder bites onto the end of its tail, it evolves into Slowbro. Well, Shelder don't exist in Lumio City. They don't even exist in this part of Lumios, the country. So Slowbro shouldn't be here. And I would like them to retroactively change how these Pokemon evolve. I think it would be really cool if to evolve a Slowpoke into a Slowbro, it requires, rather than just being like a level up, like you have to level it up in a zone or a route where Shelder live to imply that they actually, like a wild Shelder bit onto their tail. And then to get a Slow King, that they can still hold the King's Rock item, which is a head item, because it's like a crown. But you again level them up in an area where Shelder exists, and then they bite onto its head and it evolves into Slow King. I think that would be really cool to fix that. Lean into the lore properly, make a slight retroactive fix. And while we're at it, Shelder's shiny is like a bright orange. And when you evolve Slowpoke into regular Slowbro or Galarian Slowbro, the shell goes an orangey brown, which it should because it's supposed to be a Shelder. But Slowking, regular Slowking and Galarian Slowking, their shells stay a slightly different grey colour to the regular grey. Excuse me. I want them to fix the shinies. Make the shell orange. It's just fix the shiny colour to match the lore. They've fixed other shinies. I think like people have been saying that so Slowpoke in this one is more purple. I've seen a couple people be like, I know it's just the lighting or whatever, and maybe the lighting is making it more purple, because usually it was just like a fractionally lighter shade of pink. I love the purple color. I hope that's an actual fix to its shiny by making it that bit more purple. But they've fixed different shinies before, and some also need fixing still. Like Leafeon, shiny Leafeon is too similar. Like so many other grass types go kind of like autumn oranges when they go shiny. It's like it'd be really cool to have like an autumn orange Leafeon. That'd be fantastic. Or like shiny Glaceon still is also not different enough. Like, you know, you could make it go like this body go pure white with like the dark color accents rather than just a little bit of an in-between. So making some retroactive fixes like that. There's plenty of Pokemon that have very, very subtle shinies that it's like, it's fine, but it's nothing to get excited about. And you want shinies to be something that people get excited about. I also think there's a lot of, like, because of the old games, there's a lot of just bright green and bright magenta shinies. And while that's fine, being like, well, we're not changing the color now, it is green and it is magenta, that's fine. But I think it would be really great if they went back and they actually gave it a purposeful green. Or, you know, like picking the colors really purposeful for that Pokemon, going, okay, well, the shiny's still green, but we're going to like make sure it's a really good looking green for this particular shiny. Some stuff like that would be really great, because there's been a few shinies that I've caught or have evolved the Pokemon, and it's just like, oh, well, that's a letdown from the previous one. Like, I was going through lists of shinies the other day, and I saw the Unpheasant Pokemon line, and oh, hang on a moment, I'll be right back. Sorry, I had a phone call come in, but I missed it, so I'll have to get that later. But there's a lot of shinies like that that would be really great to see retroactively fixed. So what was I saying? Oh, that's right, the Unpheasant line. So you start off with P-Dove, and the shiny wasn't too, like, it wasn't much of a shiny, I don't think. And the Unpheasant shiny was okay-ish, but for some reason, the middle evolution is just bright green. And like, this is from generation like 5 or 6. Like, there's no reason for this bird to go bright green in the middle evolution, you know? So yeah, like, I guess like thinking about subtle shinies, there's some that I don't mind, like Alolan, Vulpix, and Ninetales go from like a subtle blue to a subtle purple. I think that's really nice because it's an actual color change. It's subtle because of its design, because it's like a white and blue shift and then a white and purple shift. But that's really nice. Versus something like Pikachu and Pichu. This is just, it's I couldn't even, like, I've caught both, and I couldn't, like, when I saw them, I almost couldn't tell that they were shiny in this game. Like, or Charcadet and Armarouge and Ceruledge, like, the shinies are exactly the same color, except their eyes, which are really small and hard to see, by the way, their eyes are blue. Like, it could have been a bit more. Like, maybe like the black face mask, like, make that like a white. Could have been kind of cool. Like a pure white. Just something a bit more. Like, I get that the evolutions are wearing armor that you give them, so it wouldn't necessarily make sense for the armor to change. But yeah. Or a Pokemon like Tinkaton and that line. Like, I think the fact that the hammer is a completely different color, that's really cool. I just find it really amusing that you cannot get a shiny Tinkaton. You can just get a normal Tinkaton with a shiny hammer. Like, that's amusing. But in the same time, it's like, but what would a shiny Tinkaton look like? We don't know. Because it's the same color. I quite like the idea of shinies, the lore behind shinies. But there's not a huge amount of lore, really. It's basically like real world albinism, albinoism, where a creature just has an off coloration because something in their genetics just doesn't want to produce color correctly. And that is something that I think is kind of cool about a shiny Pokemon. And in some ways, I like to think of myself as like rescuing these Pokemon from their habitats, because they won't survive by themselves. Like most creatures, wild creatures that are albino, the sharp change in color means that they can't hunt food properly. They can't hide from predators properly. They can't find a mate because, you know, they're a risk to the ongoing like lineage of that species. So they just end up dying off, you know. And so for Pokemon, sometimes I think about shiny hunting as like spending time trying to find those, you know, really rare off-color Pokemon and going, cool, we're gonna catch you, take you back to, you know, take you to some lab like Professor Oak that has a big runaround area outside where you can live safely and not have to worry about, you know, being preyed upon because you stand out like a sore thumb. Let's do another check. But that whole idea of shiny Pokemon is really fun to me. Another thing that would be quite cool to see, and I hope they bring, is to do with the little mini game that came out. Magikarp Jump. I played it for a little bit, and the bit that I loved was we had all of these Magikarp designs and colors that you could get. There was the gold shiny Magikarp, but there were all these really awesome designs, and I'm like, this makes Magikarp so much more interesting to me as a Pokemon. Are you shiny? No. Alright. I mean, like, I already like Magikarp as a whole, and it's a fun Pokemon, but having all these other colors was really cool. And there's been other Pokemon, such as like Arbok, which the lore, again, this is something I'd like to see in Generation 10, lean into the lore. Arbok from different regions have different patterns on their chest, you know. And in some of the older games, like the actual graphic, the pixel art graphic, it would change. But even though the Pokemon data knows which region you caught the Arbok in, now they just have the same pattern. Like, we have a bunch of patterns already in the games, I believe in the anime, in the manga, there's been different patterns shown. It would be really cool to retroactively go, cool, these are the patterns for every region that Arbok can be found in. So now when you transfer your Arbok, shiny or otherwise, into the future games, it now gets the hood design of that region. Like, that would be really cool. Like, and again, another reason to, like, I want to collect an Arbok from every region so I can have all the designs. I want to shiny hunt an Arbok in every region so that I can have all the designs. That would be really cool. Like, just leaning into that lore again. Like, we have the ability now in Pokemon games. So, for example, like Minior. You've got one Pokemon with multiple colors. Or Flabebe and Floette. You've got one species of Pokemon with multiple colors. There's no reason, and they all inhabit the same Pokedex entry number, but they do have different Dex entries, and they have different visuals. And it would be really cool if they did something similar with Arbok. Like, it'd be great if the even if the Pokedex entries were different for each Arbok, like slightly different. Like, you know, this is even if it's just mentioning the fact that this Arbok is specifically from a certain region. You know, it could be like, you know, this Pokemon, this Arbok was found in the Hoenn region, and then continues to say the regular Pokedex entry. Something like that would be like super, super fun, where where it's not a regional variant in the sense of like the most recent ones, like regional Wooper, like Paldean Wooper, but it is a regional variant in just its lore itself, where its pattern changes, you know, and that's it. You know, it doesn't have to have any typing changes, doesn't have to have any color changes. It would be kind of cool if the hood designs. So I think the normal has like a bit of a yellow highlight to it. It would be kind of cool if like the highlight color and the design changed per region. Would be kind of fun. But something like that would be really fun from a lore perspective, to just embrace it. You know, just embrace it. Or like Farfetch'd. You know, Farfetch'd has his leak. But gameplay wise, you can catch a Farfetch'd that's visibly holding a leak, and when you check the health item, it doesn't have a leak. It would actually be kind of cool to have two forms of Farfetch'd, one with a leak and one without a leak. Like, we already know, like, Galarian Farfetch'd needs a specific leak, needs a leak, and then needs to use a move to evolve. That's fine. Like, and Farfetch'd has a leak, and that helps with its combat as well. But it'd be kind of cool to just be able to come across a, Farfetch'd without its leak, you know? And maybe the stats of that one are the stat distribution of that one's slightly different. You know, maybe that's a more defensive Farfetch'd rather than an attacking Farfetch'd. Or Kangaskhan. Just give us the pre-evolution already. And like, I actually can't think right now if Kangaskhan have genders. I honestly don't remember if it's an all-female Pokemon. It would make sense. But I would love to see, like, when you hatch or breed or whatever a Kangaskhan, you get the baby. It can be called Kangaskid. Like, Kangaskid is not a hard stretch. Like, the Pokemon's literally right there. It's designed and everything. But you can get a Kangaskid. And then give it genders. You know? And when it evolves into Kangaskhan, if it's a male, it doesn't have the pouch. And if it's a female, it has the pouch. And then, like, give it a, like... I think it would be really fun to have a female Kangaskhan without a baby. And then, if you level it up at a certain level in an area with other Kangaskhan, it suddenly gets a baby. So that's how babies work. You know, you don't birth a Kangaskhan fully grown with a baby. Like, just retroactively lean into it. Just it would be more fun. Like, I don't think anyone would complain and be like, oh, now I have to level up my, like, evolve my Pokemon this way. That's such a pain. Like, I think it would be more fun, to be honest. Like, give me a reason to go explore. I would love more like location-based evolutions. Like, I'm kind of annoyed that in Sword and Shield, moving forward, to evolve Leafeon and Glaceon, you just give them a Leaf Stone and an Ice Stone. I would rather them have kept the whole Mossy Rock, Icy Rock thing, because that was really fun when it came out. Like, I had to go evolve my Eevee in a very specific place to get the Pokemon to get the evolution I wanted. That was really cool. And it doesn't have to be like the Icy Rock and the Mossy Rock every single time, but you could do something that's more like, I'm going to we're going to build a really lush area that's almost a little rainforesty, and like really dense, rainforesty, mossy, all this sort of stuff, and it's just an area, like it's an actual area, like a mini biome with specific Pokemon in it, and just leveling up in that area is where you evolve evolve Eevee into Leafeon for that particular region. Or like you're up a mountain and there's this big cave that's full of ice, and it's like, well, if you level up Eevee here, then it will evolve into Glaceon. Now, like, give us reasons to explore, you know? Like, you could have these in like really hard to reach positions in the map. Like, give people access, like give people, I think this is something that I think they need to go back to doing games with routes, but I think the routes, you need to just be able to travel through them like there's no blockades ever. You can loop the map before you complete the first gym or whatever. I think they need to go back to that so they can build better environments and still kind of have that go wherever you want open world feel without the issue of too much space and not enough to put in it. But you could have like Eevee really like close to the beginning, like not like in the first routes. Like if you adventure into this little side area and go down this labyrinth, and in the end you can find Eevee, like make it like a prize to get. But then you can travel the map, and like on the far extremities there's like this, you know, this cool lush biome and this ice cave biome that you have to like run past lots of like powerful Pokemon. But you could go there and level it up somehow, you know, and get that evolution really early. But make it a journey. Make it like you want to be able to make memories with your Pokemon as you level them up and as you evolve them. You don't, like, when I'm filling out the Pokedex and I'm just like, cool, I've got a Pokemon, take them somewhere, just XP share, level them up just to evolve them, put them back in the box again. Like, I'm obviously not making memories with that Pokemon, so they kind of mean nothing to me in a way. They're just a checkbox. Like, cool, got that one. But for your team, you want to be able to go on a journey with them. Now, I'm not saying ditch all evolution items. I don't think ditching all evolution items is the right way to go. I think some evolution items are fine. But when you come up with a cool... excuse me. When you come up with a cool location-based way or location-based lore, and then ditch that for the ease of a evolution item, that's just kind of annoying at that point. And I get there's some, like I mentioned with like Slowpoke, that just wasn't, you know, they couldn't do that back in those games. That's what I'm saying, like retroactively do it. Or like Mantike, I think, I don't know if it's still the case now, but Mantike at one point you had to have a Remoraid in your party and level it up, and then it would evolve into Mantine. And Mantine used to have, in its picture, used to have a Remoraid kind of like attached to the bottom of it, like you would see with various like whales and manta rays and stuff like that. And it kind of gave the idea of you, to get this Pokemon, you need the other one. You know, it was a clue. Now the pictures don't have that, so it's not helping. But even, like, again, make that one location based. You can have a Mantike and you can level it up all you want, but unless you level it up in an area with Remoraid, it doesn't evolve. Like, but then you can catch a Mantike, and then you're like, cool, well, I need to find out where Remoraid are now, and I have to go on an adventure to find Remoraid, to be able to evolve my Pokemon. That to me would be way more fun than like, yeah, other alternatives. Like that's what I want to see in Generation 10. I honestly don't think they'll do that. I don't really have any expectations on what they might do, but that's what I would like. Because it's those bits of like lore where Pokemon are connected in a very specific way that allow it just gives me so much enjoyment, like to discover Pokemon and these little quirks about their personalities and their stories and how they evolve and things like that. So I think they should lean into that more. Above all else, lean into that more. Like, yes, I want to see them like go back to routes and then build really, really interesting sets that you get to play through. Like, give the illusion of open world within contained pockets. I don't care about having like a brief loading screen. So like, it's, you know, it's the same as when you walk in and out of a door. I don't mind that. I don't have a problem with that. Like, to me, having 0 loading screens because it's open world, that doesn't make it a good game. The design makes it a good game. I saw the trailer recently for the new... there's a new Horizon game. Horizon Hunters Gathering. And they've gone for a really different art style that reminds me of just like concept art come to life. It's incredibly stylized and so gorgeous. And I'm like, just the shapes and environment look that they can do. And I'm like, if Pokemon even did a little bit of this, like, so that it feels like, you know, drawn sets of the anime or whatever coming to life, that would pretty much make Pokemon like the most fun, perfect games. Really. Like, just let the design team go kind of crazy, you know? So, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I do want them to keep the live battling that we have in ZA. Again, don't know if they will, because this is kind of a Legends... Like, Legends is where they've been testing different game mechanics. Legends Arceus had the strong and... Was it strong and swift styles of battling? ZA now has the live battling styles. Style. I want them to keep this battle style moving forward, because this is the most fun and engaging Pokemon battles that we've had, and I want to be able to keep enjoying these. You know, these are really cool. So those are my wishes for ZA, for Generation 10. Not sure what we're going to get. I'm going to have fun with it regardless. So we'll see. That just looks normal. Yeah. Swap it to nighttime then have another look. So it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing for the upcoming game. And just moving forwards, like... excuse me. I hope we get more Legends games and they feel fairly in keeping with what was... Oh, we have phased. Hey, Ghastly. How you doing? Oh. Nice of you to join. Not who we're looking for, but that's okay. Tell you what, the last few times we've checked, I don't feel like I've seen a Pansage at all. Gosh. Well, we are now at 3 phases with the addition of Ghastly. On to the next. So, yeah, I really hope Gen 10 takes a bunch of lessons from ZA and from Scarlet and Violet about what works, what's fun, what isn't. Because, yeah, Scarlet and Violet was rough in many ways. It had the potential to be really awesome, but yeah, it just didn't. I think some of the things I wasn't so fond of, like, I dread the academy classes. I tend to avoid them until the last moment, then I'm like, great, I have to do the entire year's worth of classes just to get them out of the way so I can progress the story. Because they just felt like, I get that they're there to kind of teach you some stuff, kinda, but it just felt like there was too many of them. It's just too many. And obviously the game had a lot of bugs and a lot of issues. The world feels incredibly empty. And again, I think this is where going back to the routes would be better. Like, rather than trying to load the entire world, like, if they loaded an area where you just can't, like, because of the trees and the hills, you just can't see past it. But they can make that inside run incredibly fast and smooth and look amazing. People wouldn't care. They'd enjoy it. You know, people care about things not working properly. And I get that there was a lot of stuff to do with being able to fly Koraidon and Miraidon around and just climb mountains and stuff like that. And that's kind of cool, but I don't think it would have lent itself to a... I don't think it made enough of a difference that it was worth it, you know. And who knows, maybe it was just because the amount of time they were given to develop it, the scope was too big, like, goodness knows. But I hope they have a think about that game, how much people have enjoyed playing ZA, how, like, and think about the games, like the previous games that people loved and enjoyed, you know, and try and find the most fun aspects of each of those and go, how do we center this around the things that are really, really fun? So yeah, it'll be interesting, to say the least. I am kind of hoping for a new Legends trailer for something. In some ways, I don't think they will have a new Legends game ready to go. I think they'll probably leave space for the Gen 10 game. They might do a like, there is a possibility, I guess, of another DLC, being that the previous two games have had two DLCs each, and we've only had one for this game. Now, this is obviously a Legends game, and the last Legends game just didn't have DLC, so it's not to say that what happened for Galar and Paldea should happen here as well, but it would be kind of cool. Like, particularly if it was a little bit more story-based, rather than, like, Mega Dimensions was just like, have a bunch of extra Pokemon. Like, you've already beaten the game, but have more Pokemon anyway. Which is fine, but it would be cool to have a DLC that's more story-driven. So, we'll see. Actually, one other thing that I want in in Generation 10 is I want more buildings to walk into. Like, buildings being, you know, being that buildings are just kind of like pocket dimensions that can be as big or as small as you want them to be. Like, ZA for a city had like almost nothing to walk into, and the few places that we could walk into were kind of interesting, but there's still nothing really to walk into. But I want more buildings to walk into. Like, you know, all the cafes here. Like, there are a couple cafes, like the battle cafes. You can walk into the battle cafe. which is better than nothing. But like all the other cafes, yes, there's an outside area, but it would have been cool if they'd been like, hey, do you want to sit inside or outside? And then you can sit inside, you know, or like you get to walk into the cafe to, you know, purchase something rather than talking to the guy out the front door, which kind of feels like, you know, sorry, we're not letting you inside right now. We've had like some sort of a toxic spill, and to keep everybody safe, you all have to eat outside today. But it'd be cool to be able to go into those, or like into all the clothing shops. There was a ton of clothing shops, more than I thought was necessary. Like, I get it that they're like, it's a shopping mall, there's lots of shops, but again, you're just interacting with a door and a menu, and that's not fun. Like, I would rather have less shops. Like, you could have gone into one of those, and it's like, there's one door and this big display, you know, it's like this, it's a big store, not just a little one. And you actually get to walk into it, and you can see some of the kind of the models around, like the mannequins or whatever, with clothing items, and then go up to the counter and like go purchase something. Like Sword and Shield wasn't even fashion based, and you could walk into the shops, you know, and being able to just walk into random houses and meet people. I get there's an aspect of it. It's like, you know, you shouldn't be like, kids shouldn't be just wandering into strangers' homes. I get that. Maybe that's the mentality of it. But at the same time, kids also aren't going to be taking their pet dog and trying to get it to fight someone else's pet dog just because they played Pokemon. You know, like, kids aren't usually that stupid. But bring back, like, you can't even say that, like, well, they didn't have buildings to walk into to meet the NPCs, but at least you got a lot of lore talking to the NPCs outside. And it's like, well, Paldea certainly didn't. ZA is better, but like, you're running through a very same looking, like, the streets look very much the same because the buildings don't look really any different from each other, and there's just people everywhere. So I didn't really feel inclined to stop and talk to anybody. Whereas like older games where it's like you have some people outside and then you have a whole bunch of people inside, like, I wanted to explore all the buildings, you know, I wanted to go talk to everybody. Here it's just like, it's just another jogger. Why would they have anything different to say? Like, maybe they do. Maybe I missed out on something. But like, it's just, it doesn't feel as fun to just try and like romp up and down the street and talk to every single person. And there's only like a dozen different character models. So you're just running up and down these streets that all look the same, talking to these people that all look the same. You know. I don't have a problem with NPCs looking the same, but like, it's a bit more interesting when they're in buildings, and oftentimes what they had to say in old games was like connected to them personally in their environment and things like that, you know. That's what made it interesting. And you could hide bits of lore in there and stuff like that, you know. That was really cool. So more buildings, interiors specifically, would be great. They don't have to be super fancy, you know. You could be like, okay, well, there's like, you know, half a dozen different apartment, like, layouts. And which should be super easy for them to make. And then they can just do that, you know, a dozen times each. With different NPCs that say different things. And it's purely just to wander in and have a look, you know. And they could have different pet Pokemon in there, you know. So I think, yeah, going back to leaning heavily into the lore for NPCs, for Pokemon evolutions and locations and things like that would be really good. Like, again with like lore and stuff like that. Like Slowpoke evolving without Shelter. Shelter's a seawater Pokemon. We're in Lumio City. This is all freshwater. Again, doesn't make sense. I believe there's been other cases where you have... Actually, they're probably even in here, like There's probably some, you know, ocean-based Pokemon living in rivers and stuff like that, but it's like there could be, you know, better ways to distribute Pokemon based on habitat. You know, like, or seeing things like this area has a bunch of bird Pokemon. Great. In the trees, put nests. Even if the Pokemon don't sit in them, just have the nest. Because then it makes it feel like the Pokemon live there. You know? Lean into the lore of the world. Let's do another check. Oh, we have a monkey of each colour. But no shinies. All good. Back up to the roof we go. So yeah, it would be great to see them lean into the storytelling more in that regard. Like for ZA, I think the direct storyline of ZA with the Rogue Mega Revolutions and the tower and all that, that was really cool. Like I really liked that. It fell in a couple of points a little bit, but overall I thought that was a really great story. But it's just the world building story that I think needs a lot more work. So hopefully that's something they can fix. Or improve, I should say. Every time I see that particular battle zone over there, I think of a pair of lungs. I can't unsee it. Oh dear. I had I saw someone the other day that had put together some like big lists of their favorite Pokemon for like different types and regions and legendaries and stuff like that. And I thought that was a very cool thing to do. And I've been slowly working away at that myself because a few times I have tried to think about like what's my favorite Pokemon, but narrowing it down to one feels near impossible. But being able to categorize it by like, what's your favorite normal type, fire type, and or going granular than that, like in this region. So in the Pokemon introduced in the Kalos region, what's your favorite normal type? You know, do that for each of the regions, and then go to like what? Okay, looking at all of those, then what's your favorite normal type overall? You know, stuff like that. That to me has been kind of a fun idea, and so I've been working on my own lists for that over several days now, which has been a lot of fun. I've been doing that for regular forms in some categories. I've also been doing it for shiny forms, which has been cool. Found that there's a lot of shinies that I really like that I can't get in this game, so I'm definitely going to be shiny hunting in other games as well. So it's got me excited to try that in different places as well, which has been cool. But it definitely highlights for me just how many Pokemon I actually really like. And there's been a few Pokemon that I've ended up having in those lists as well, where it's like I've realized that I actually do like this Pokemon, but I had let internet opinions of the Pokemon determine my feelings for it for quite a while. Or some Pokemon where it's just like, I just don't like this Pokemon, but like its shiny looks really cool. So it's been fun to kind of go through that sort of stuff and just kind of look at it, try and figure those things out. Give myself some future goals of what I want to be able to do and achieve in games. So even just trying to narrow down favorite starter Pokemon. Like I ended up narrowing down like my favorite first evolution for each region, second evolution for each region, third evolution for each region. And then I narrowed down my favorite first, second, and third evolutions overall. I don't think I could narrow it down to just one after that. But my favorite first evolution overall was Cyndaquil. My favorite second evolution was Dartrix, and third evolution was Decidueye. So considering that Dartrix, and I do really like Rowlet, which I do have a little guy over here. He's so cute. Uh-oh. Testing. Oh, okay, we're back. Okay, cool. I bumped the desk and my microphone has a really sensitive cable. And so the mic cut out a couple times just now. But I do really like Rowlet, but Cyndaquil just holds just a little bit more for me. Maybe it'd be different if I'd played the Alola games, because I haven't played those. And I haven't played Legends Arceus. I would feel a little bit uncertain, though, about picking Rowlet. I mean, like, considering there's Rowlet and there's Cyndaquil, and I really like Hisuian Typhlosion. I don't like Hisuian Decidueye, really. So, yeah. But I do really like Rowlet. So for the normal Rowlet line, considering I like the second and third evolution, those are my two favorites. Dartrix and Decidueye are my favorites for second and third evolution. I guess my favorite starter as a whole is the Rowlet line, because it claims 2 out of 3 spots. But it is really hard to choose. And who knows, maybe a few months down the track, my feelings will change on it. I'll have to update. Or Generation 10 comes out, and then who knows? Like, I might really love those starter Pokemon, and I have to update from them. Like, I have no idea. So it'll be really interesting and fun to see kind of how that goes. But Pokemon are a really big source of enjoyment for me, and always have been for years. Like, I started drawing Pokemon back when I started playing Crystal, and yeah, it's always been something that I've enjoyed coming back to all the time. So I really look forward to new regions. Like, there have definitely been some Pokemon in different regions that when they first came out, I wasn't particularly fond of them. But the more I've seen them in games and stuff, the more I've actually grown to like them. Particularly seeing them in the 3D games where they have, like the recent ones anyway, where they have more animation to them, really helps bring the personality of the Pokemon out. Whereas previously you kind of had to rely on just the key art design, whereas now there's so much more to it. I still expect a good art. I still expect the good art design, but like, yeah. So I think 3D is starting to really bring these Pokemon to life in the best way possible. I have been thinking about creating I guess like a Pokemon design mascot for the channel. I've had a previous design that I made couple years ago now. Just for my own Kiwi Pokemon. Which I might end up having another crack at and using that. But I thought it would be kind of fun to have a unique mascot for the channel that, you know, can have a bit more fun with without getting in trouble. So yeah, I might have to have a bit of a look at that. It'd be kind of cool actually to make like an actual starter trio of designs. Would be kind of fun. And then like the where am I? These little guys that I've got down there, cameras down here. And in my logo reveal and stuff, could swap them out for the silhouettes of those creatures. Would be kind of fun. But there is also an aspect of having Pokemon silhouettes that are recognizable. Oh, excuse me. Which is also beneficial. So we'll see. But I do like the idea of creating my own design to be able to showcase on the channel and have as a little mascot. So that might be something that I work on in the nearish future, possibly. I have seen a very cool set of New Zealand-based starter Pokemon for a fan region that someone's done on Instagram. I think they called it Pokemon North and South, and they did a kiwi fruit-based kiwi Pokemon, which was very, very cute. I haven't seen if they've showcased the evolutions yet, so I'd be interested to see how they do that. The design that I did a few years ago is not a typical starter Pokemon in regards to it's not fire, water, or grass. Believe it was Ghost and maybe it was Ghost and Fire, or it was Ghost and Ground. I don't remember. I'll have to have another look again. But I had done it as a part of a starter trio idea that stepped away from the typical fire, water, grass triangle. I wasn't quite as happy with the other designs, but who knows, maybe I can repurpose those as well and bring them back. Actually, no, one of them I was particularly happy with, which was based on a Weta. It was very cute. The third one needs a bit of work, which is based on a Tuatara. So I might have to bring those. I might have to redo those. But they were, a couple of those were definitely very cute. So yeah, maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll bring those three back. I'll redo them as a full starter trio of designs for the channel. That would be very fun. I might need to get some input on the names though. That naming Pokemon designs is definitely not my strong suit. So yeah, I might have to reach out to a couple friends to get some ideas on that. That'd be pretty cool. Excuse me. Let's reset nighttime and do another check. I feel like I'm a little overdue for a phase, or just yeah, I definitely feel overdue for the actual shiny that I want. But I definitely feel overdue for a phase. Where are we? So not there. It's another. Oh, you gotta be joking. It's another shiny Ghastly. Hey, bud. Oh, that's so funny. Phase. Ah. No shiny monkeys. Man, if I do not get this within the stream, the next time we do this, I might use a hyperspace zone. I'd been hoping to get it here, because I think it's a kind of a neat spot to be able to shiny hunt for them. But we might have to go to a hyperspace route. I don't think... Maybe let's check some... Maybe I could do a hyperspace now. Let's have a look. The only problem is my camera's blocking, so I can't really see very well. Nope. Any other grass? Nope. Okay. Nighttime. Let's see if we can do some resets while we're here and try and find a hyperspace. If we can do a quick run through a hyperspace, we might be able to get it. I'd like to get it this stream. And I don't have a huge amount of time left. Also doesn't help that I need, oops. Also doesn't help that I need 2 of them technically for my living shiny decks. Not getting many grass options. It would be rather funny though that I finally find a hyperspace area that has Pansage in it, and then we do our final check in this area and we have a shiny Pansage. Thankfully I don't need to hunt any shiny Eevees at the moment, as I already have finished getting all of them just recently, which is great. I do need a bunch more shiny Furfrou though, so I can get all the shiny designs. Grass. Here we go. Cool. Alright. No shinies. Let's go make a donut. Suppose I should do a backup save first. Okay, let's get a donut. I don't need a super powerful donut, but because it was a 2-star, 2-star, 3-star. Do that. Oh, that's a pretty one. That'll be fine. I don't need a specific donut. Alright. Where are we? Oh, let's fly to Centrico Plaza. Alright, it's just inside. Alright. Let's try the hyperspace realm. Ooh, it's a sewer. Okay. Okay. It's not. Some ways it'd be kind of nice to get Pansage rather, and Bulbasaur. Man, we don't have any like. I don't know if this is going to be too. Let's try this. These might be within range. I think they're within range. I might do is just roll a bit so that we're definitely loading them in. Definitely not my favorite. Yeah, like definitely not my favorite sewer. Ones where they have at least have a like you're a bit closer to the spawns and stuff is definitely a lot more helpful. This should be fine. We'll see if we can get one this way. We're at least getting a bunch more chances of it. If I can, like, I prefer not to shiny hunt in hyperspace. Just because it can feel too easy, I guess. Like, I haven't used any shiny power donuts, and I have still managed to catch a bunch of shinies. So much easier. There's been the occasional ones that I have done on purpose, like... Excuse me. No, don't run from them. Such as, like, Drampa. Like, I did shiny hunt Drampa at Area 19 for quite a while, and then eventually I decided to do it in a hyperspace zone. That still took me a while, but I did end up getting it there. But particularly when it's the hyperspace city, because of the lack of color, it's just I just don't like being in it. Like, not that the regular city has a heck of a lot more color, but it's like it's at least more enjoyable than the hyperspace one. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Like I don't mind doing this doing hyperspace things like when it's necessary or after I've given it a good shot in other areas. It's good to kind of change it up a bit. For some of my other hunts, like particularly if I had like a couple of locations where I could shiny hunt for a Pokemon, I would sometimes shiny hunt in one spot, and then if I checked and I got a phase, then I would then go over to the next location and then I would shiny hunt there until I got a phase, just to change up just to change up what I was doing so it wasn't quite so repetitive. But yeah, I don't want to make things too easy when it comes to shiny hunting. Like, I have been getting berries to eventually be able to do some shiny power donuts. When I go to do try and get Latios and Latios and the Swords of Justice, like, I want to be able to make some shiny power 3 donuts specific to those ones. But beyond that, I'm not too concerned. Excuse me. I'm not too concerned about it being like too. I'm not concerned about hunts taking too long. Is this for me? Generally, shiny hunting is pretty zen for me. It's pretty chill, pretty relaxing, and yeah, it's I enjoy it. Like, I'll often be like I'm often like listening to other videos or podcasts or whatever while I'm doing it, and yeah, it's enjoyable. So whoops. So yeah, but I like the challenge, and at some point I do want to try and take on some harder shiny hunting challenges as well, maybe from different games. We'll see. Obviously those ones can take significantly longer, and I don't shiny hunt. Well, I do shiny hunt relatively frequently, but like it's usually a little all over the place for different Pokemon. So we'll see, but I do want to take on some harder challenges moving forward. So we'll kind of see how that goes. For the heck of it, let's do a quick check. Nope. And we'll do a quick look. Not that we're loading them, but we'll check anyway. And I could definitely do with a few Bulbasaur if we are lucky enough. I mean, like, it would probably be better if I was to, like, reset this for getting the Bulbasaur and the Pansage right here rather than Bidoof. But we'll see how we go. If I don't get it, get the shiny in the next. I'm only going to be shiny. I'm only going to be streaming for about another 10 minutes. But if we don't get it within then I will reset and maybe look at running this again as the next stream and see if I can reset it and get some Bulbasaur and some Pansage at the same time. We'll see how we go. Got a little bit of time left. I think probably like the starter Kanto starters are probably ones that I will. Oh, just all the starters for this one. The Kanto and the Lumio starters for this game. Those are probably ones that I will shiny hunt in hyperspace. Just because Area 20's not great. I have found a couple shinies there. I would like to... Like, I found a shiny Tepig and a shiny Charmander. I think I have a shiny Bulbasaur. So I would like to get one of each starter shiny there before I go to hyperspace. And then after that I don't mind getting the rest in hyperspace, but I want to get at least one. At least one of each. Unfortunately, there was a method where you could increase the number of spawns for Pokemon in that area. I didn't get a chance to use that before I downloaded the DLC. I didn't realize it got patched in the DLC. That was a little annoying. I was hoping to try that out at least once, but regardless, we'll get there. While I'm here, when I do my final check, I might quickly also do these 3 quests. Get the extra points. It's not going to be enough, but I might as well. Or maybe I'll leave it. We'll see. Okay. Because I'll be coming back, likely. So, there's no point doing it if I have to come back. I think also because I don't want to lose this portal. Maybe I'll do some streaming tonight. Maybe I'll stream twice today. We'll see. I definitely want to get the first member out the way finally. So see how we go. I want to be able to keep moving forward with this team. Maybe for the next one, when I stream, I'll set some sort of a timer for myself, so that if I don't find the shiny within a certain amount of time, we switch locations just to kind of change things up a bit. Might be a bit more fun. If I was to do the hyperspace zone, that'll definitely be until the donut runs out. Which, like, in another stream, it would be until that runs out, which might be longer than the timer. So we'll see. We'll see. Oops. Alright, we'll make this our check. Oh, I had... Wait. Oh, what? We got 3 shinies. 3 shinies. Bag up. Oh, we missed it. We did have a shiny Badoo that I missed. But we have 3 shiny Band Sage. Well, we definitely have our team member now, which is fantastic. Look up here, nothing. Right at the end, eh? And got 3 of them, that's crazy. No Bulbasaurs. Alright. You know what, Ruffles? You can help with this time. Psychic. Let's quickly get... Oh, what do I have to do? 3 species of Pokemon and use the catch window. Okay, well... I Moonblast. Okay, that did like nothing. Let's go down here. Come on. There we go. Alright. Let's quickly swap out. It's you. Alright. Catch window. Oh, and I need Pokeballs. Is there a Pokeball here? There was. Another Pokeball. big Pokeball here. It's going to be a little bit annoying. I'm going to have to hang around a little bit for the Bidoo. Yeah, let's go get a Bulbasaur. Oops. Okay, I've got the catch window. Okay, cool. We have the Bidoo back. Last catch window. Nice. Where's this Pokeball going to show up? Must be this way. There it is. Oh, that probably won't reach it. Oh no, it did. Perfect. Get some extra berries out of that. Oh my goodness. Let's leave hyperspace. Well, we definitely have our new druid right here. Hey, bud. You feeling happy about this? You're part of the team. Yeah. Because we're going to have to go get some more recruits. Can you do that? Yeah. Like the determination, bud. Love the determination. Right. We're going to need a name for you. Oh, what are we going to do? Well, you're going to be a druid. Excuse me. So, let's go to here. Change nickname. I want to go with a very fantasy sounding name for these roles. What would be a good druid name? I want to keep the word sage in there, I think. Something Sagebeard. Maybe? Oops. Change the name. Because he starts with a pan, I'm going to go with Peter for the first name. Peter what? I think, yeah. No, not Sage. Oh, he doesn't have a beard. He almost has kind of an afro, so we could call it Sage Fro. Peter Sage Fro. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, not enough letters. Maybe I just won't put a space. Oops. Peter Sagefro. There we go. Peter Sagefro, our druids. Absolutely wonderful. Oops. Let's go in here. Oh dear. You were the ones I caught for the challenge. I don't need you. So here we go. These two phases. These two phases. That's not too bad, really. That's what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 phases. Oh, technically not. 8 phases. And we have Peter Sagefro, our druids. Absolutely wonderful. I'm going to need to find a spot for you. You know what? You can go down here. I'll keep you there. But that is our druid. Our druid is finally on team. And you know what? Let's evolve him now. Does it just level up? Might be a leaf stone. I honestly don't remember. I'll give him one more just in case. Might be a leaf stone. Oops. Hey, oh. It is a leaf stone. Here we go. Peter Sagefro. Yeah, there's our druid. Here we go. You're very sprightly, aren't you? You are very cool, my friend. Very cool indeed. That also means... Oh, now we can also go over here. And we can now mark off our druid. Which is perfect. So, we are now... we now have... Oh, that doesn't look quite right. Why is that not looking right? Let's see if that works a bit better this time. Okay. Very good. Need to check that next time. But we have our shiny druid now. Peter Sagefro. We're now finally got the team underway. We have 4 more members and the bad guy to get. Which is very cool. Glad we were able to finally get him. We'll be able to move on to the next one next time, which is going to be great. So next time we come on, actually, let's do this now. Let's have a look. We will spin. Let's see who we're going to get. We are next going to be going for the Cleric, a shiny Florges, which is going to be very cool. I could do the easy route and take a red one from Area 3. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think we're going to go find a different color to shiny hunt rather than the red variety. That's a little too easy. So that's going to be fun. So next time around, we're going to move on to our second member, the Cleric. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. Definitely let me know in the comments if you've any of your thoughts and answers for any of the stuff that we've talked about. Love to hear what you guys think. And yeah, it's been really, really good. So I will catch you guys next time. So have a good one.